All right. I pressed start recording. Who knows what is happening? It's possibly recording. It's possibly pausing. Okay. Hello. Hello and welcome to Dawn's Craft Riot. Now available on YouTube. Um, it is the 24th, I believe, of October. Happy October. I'm going to make a Halloween card by request. I have some really cool paper. This is a pack that, well, I guess from what I understand now, all Cane Company packs are old hat. They don't make new collections anymore, but that's what I've heard. Heard it through the grapevine. But I was going to say I have this old pack that I bought at the end of a season. There's a bit of a tear on it. The package was a bit roughed up, but just the outside cover, and it was on for I think half price or cheaper. I got it at the end of either last Halloween season or the Halloween season before that. I think it was last Halloween season. It might have been before that. Anyhow, it was a very inexpensive paper pack because I got it on such a great sale. And I don't mind how old the paper is because as long as it looks good, we can still use it. Uh, oh, hello! You just got there. Awesome. Welcome. Who were we talking to? It might have been a unicorn person. Oh, I see. It's as I stopped to read the chat instead of making the card. Everybody, I stopped to read the chat. Okay. I want to make a card that is more interesting than just a fold in half card, which is the kind of card I normally have been making, just a fold in half card. Last time I did a recorded show, I made a Christmas card that had a double fold, I guess it's called a gatefold card, where both sides of the front fold in and then they unfold. Oh, as I jiggle the table, it's moving my camera apparently. My camera should not be touching the table. Apparently my table got moved, guys. So let's see, let's have a look. I'm not sure if this is the card I made on the show because I made several more afterwards. Oh no, this is a different one because, oh no, this is the right one because it is, after I made this one on the show last time, the other ones that I made in my little stack here have the opening or this thing on the other side because it seems to make more sense to have it glued to this side, but I did throw in that piece on the back because if you watch the show, you'll see that I taped over the edge because I'm bad at lining things up. But, all right, so that was a double fold kind of situation. And then I started thinking that I liked that, but I wanted it to be, isn't it a neat card? But I wanted it to be more interesting. So I did some researching, I did some looking around on the internet. Hello, Phyllis. Um, yeah, it looks neater to have the closure part on the left-hand side, but I think it's just oh, and it looks neater to have, yeah, the piece of paper on the inside back, sure. But instead of having like it's, I'll show the card again and explain what I want to change. Of course, I'm going to be making a Halloween version, so not using obviously Christmas paper, but it's so square, so the circle changes that up. It makes it a little bit less square, breaks that. But for the Halloween card, I want it to be even less square. So I did some researching and I found something that's the exact same thing as we just did last time, except for you cut it off at an angle. So I have a little prototype. I'm going to bring it over now. So basically, you have the same sheet of paper. You're still using a 12 by 12. This one, instead of doing it in half, the circle feng shui's the edges of the rectangular card. Yes, exactly. This is not, this is 12 and then not exactly 6. I think it's 5.5, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 5.5 inches by 12. Because if it were exactly by 6, this would be at a more of a steep angle. So anyhow, you take your piece of paper and you cut your edges off and you get something super cool like so. That's what we're gonna do today. Isn't this paper wonderful? That's from this K & Company pack. And this is the other side. These are double-sided papers, so you don't have to do half of the work. So I'll show you how to cut this and how to glue it, and then perhaps do some embellishing. And then I have another card that I've finished that I'm going to show you, because for me the embellishment is the hardest part. And the card that I finished took me about a week to get all of the embellishing right. So, oh, all right, sorry, you have advertisements. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish one today, like with embellishment and things, because it takes me so long to figure that out. But I will show you a finished one so you can get a sense of what you can do. So this is the paper that I picked from this pack, because I wanted something. It's like origami folding. It looks like origami folding, yes, because of adding in the extra paper that you cut off the edge, you get this really cool diamond thing going on. And I picked this paper because I like the front and the back. Hello, Betty Lou, or Betty Lewski, or Betty, or whatever you want to be called. Sorry. I don't know what you prefer to be called. Welcome back, Fab. I picked this paper from that same pack that we were looking at. One, because it's double-sided. They're all double-sided, but it saves me doing some of the work. But also because it's sort of a combination of being not so cutesy, but also not too gory. So that's why I went for this particular paper. I'm going to cut that white strip off at the top. I want to use the part that's got the bodies of the animals, the picture of the animals, or however you want to say that. Do have a little stack of distress inks that we may or may not use. I just figured that it's Halloween. I've got some orange, green, and purple going on, so I got, come on, focus. I've got the black soot, the mowed lawn, the spiced marmalade, and the dusty Concord. Give me a break. Those are words. You should be able to focus. Sorry, guys. Now I won't stop until my camera focuses, because that's ridiculous. Oh, awesome. There we go. I finally have focus. But those I thought were good possible inks to use. It's so cool that you can watch on tablets, but I do find that, I mean, I haven't tried the Ustream on the tablet yet. I have a tablet now. Woohoo! A tablet that you can actually use for things. But the chatting is the most difficult part, I find, for the programs I've tried so far, the different streaming services I've watched on. Alright, I'm trimming that up, trying to get it as square as I can while being on my not exactly square trimmer. Oh my goodness, you're having loud ads. I apologize for that. I mean, not that I have any control over it whatsoever, but I'm sorry that you have very loud ads to deal with. Alright, now I'm going to put this through the other way. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm turning this around because I just moved that stack over there, and it would be in my way. I want to measure 5.5 because, like I say, I'm not doing it's 12 across, and I don't want it to be exactly halved because I think that we'll get not as nice of an angle on it. So, let me say that the lady that I saw doing this, the tutorial I found that I liked it best was a lady called Dawn, which is kind of funny. I think her last name is Ofshevsky, but I'm not certain. But she does Do Stamping is her YouTube channel. All right, so I've got my bug bodies. And she was the one that I saw that did this cutting off. So just so you know, I did watch a lady do something similar. I've seen it called a couple of things in my journeys online looking for how to do it. And the things that I saw it called were a gatefold card. Then there's different versions of gatefold cards, but also a Cascade card I've seen it as. All right, so I'm going to score this. Now I have to decide which part I want on the inside and which part I want on the outside, and also I have to find my scoring tool. Sorry guys, I'm just thinking about insides and outsides. I think that I want this to be on the outside. I want this to be on my inside, but we'll cut a little piece to put on the inside. Oh, we lost Betty. Sorry, Betty. Okay, so with this kind of card, for when you want to keep your card facing the right side, like you want up to be up, and you want to notice which side is up. But because it's 12, we're going to have a section in the middle that is 4 inches across. And we are going to also score the sides. I do not have a Xyron sticker maker, so I cannot use such a thing. I would use it if I have it. I have a Xyron machine. It's very old. It was given to me old, and it is too, for one, the stuff inside of it, the product that you would use to laminate the one side and make sticker on the other side, or I think what I have in there is laminator on both sides, is all dried up. And also the machine I can't find the sticker thing for. So no, I am not using Xyron at this moment, is what I'm trying to say. All right, I'm going to score this card sheet. Hi Vince, I'm making a Halloween card. I have a 12 by 5.5 inch piece of double-sided Halloween themed paper. I'm going to score at 4 inches. And I'm going to score again at 4 inches, but I think that would be 8 inches if you're using a different kind of scoring machine, one of the ones with the lines that go in, as opposed to this one that has the line that pops up. Because I want to leave a section of 4 inches in the middle at the back. You're getting rid of your Xyron personal cutter. Okay, I'm going to fold this all the way over. I think sometimes we have too many things and we don't use them, so I think that's cool that you're getting rid of your Xyron personal cutter. I'm going to fold this side in too. I'm trying to line it up as good as I can with the top and bottom lines. All right. We're also going to need to score at 2 inches from each side, so at 2 and 10 inches, but I'm flipping the paper over to score at the other side because I'm folding this part the other way. You want it to be as lined up as possible. And your Sizzix Boutique. Oh, good for you. I think that's awesome. Okay, so now the other thing we have to do is make a mark. Make your mark. We have to make a mark at the halfway point of each side so that we know where we're cutting to. So use pencil because you will have to erase this. Trying to find my really sharp pencil. You're just having a clear out. Cool. All right, so this ruler starts right at the edge because they're smart. I'm going to line up the edge. And I'm going to get it really close to the outside edge of my paper. Make sure it's a proper line. Of course, this would probably help if I use the grid underneath of my paper. But that's 5.5, so I need this to be at the halfway point, so 2 1/4. No, that's wrong. 2 3/4. Sorry guys, it's me doing math wrong in my head. And that's why I have math issues. Alright. 2 3/4. Now make sure you know which line you need, because you might have just drawn yourself a extra line for no reason. I'm going to also measure that to the bottom and make sure I've got the same thing going on and I'm not confused. Yes, there we go. 2 3/4, guys. You want that right on the edge of your paper. And then you also, and you want to keep your paper face up. You also want to make a mark right in the very center of your score line, of that score that's on the 4-inch and the 8-inch. Because what you're going to be doing is cutting from that corner, from that mark to this mark. Oh yeah, math. Not fun. Not fun for me anyway. So let's do it. Let's line it up. So for me, I look at the underside of my trimmer and I see what side of the wire the blade is on. I can see that it's on this side of the wire, just so that I know where it's going to cut, because there's a wire that shows you where it's going to cut, but if you're looking at the wrong side of the wire, you're not lining it up properly. You may or may not have wire on your trimmer, but you're going to want this cut to exactly match this cut, so be careful. Just know where you're looking to get your trimmer to cut where you want it to go. And then also, you can totally line this up and see if you're getting the same angle. Okay, that's the cutting. That's the trimmer part of the cutting anyway. And now I'm going to fold these guys back and try to line them up with the bottom and the outside edge. I really like this purple too. Oh, and then we can break out the the purple on the different sides of the page are slightly different colored, as you can see when you hold them together. Fun! Yeah, those cutters are great with the wire. You can really see where you're cutting, as long as you know. Try not to jab the little corner of paper underneath of your fingernail. Pro tip! Yeah, as long as you know where you should be looking. Apparently I have fluff sticking out of my fingernail. How gross. Alright, I just noticed that there's a little bit of fluff sticking off of my card as well. It's time to change my trimmer blade, I believe. Alright, so that's the front. It's pretty good. It's all lined up. On this card, on my prototype, it's not exactly lined up. This part is taller than that part, which is fine for a Halloween card, but I think this part is exactly lined up, which is how you want it to be, as lined up as possible. And then I'm going to bend these the opposite way from the way that I would normally bend them on the mark, because they're going to go the opposite way. If I remember, if I'm doing this correctly. All right, let me line them up and make sure. That's okay, Sylvia. It's all right to be talkative. Hello to everybody who came in while I was cutting and working. All right, so yes, I'm going to put this one. No. Yeah, this way. Is this the way I do it? So maybe I was looking at it wrong. Sorry, guys. All this flipping upside down makes me, sends my brain all topsy-turvy. Yeah, that's the way I want to do it. So, I just took the pieces that were on the same side and folded them downwards. That's what we're going to do. But, also, let's cut out the little piece for inside of here. So that's 4 across by 5.5. So I want it slightly smaller than that. And I want this bug body to be available in it. This is really cool paper, this Can Company paper. Look at these ants. They're just marching across the paper. They're awesome. Anyhow. Is it just me? Oh yes, and let's put it somewhere that I can actually use the ruler. Alright, so it's 5.5 this way, so let's go... Yeah. I should have cut it this way first. Let's measure it this way. So I've got 4 this way. Let's go for 3 1/4. Oh, it really drops out a lot of my ants. That's okay. I'm sure I'll survive without ants. 3 3/4, pardon me. Now I'm saying the wrong thing, measuring the right thing and saying the wrong thing. It's pretty typical. That was 3 3/4. So my other way is 5.5. So I'm going to do 5 1/4. And I think I'll cut it off the top. Although that is pretty cool ant. Yeah, no, I'm going to cut it off the top. I'll lose that ant anyways, I think. The ants are too cute. Yeah, I agree. I get one anyway. 1 ant. And there might be one on the front of the card, but we'll have to look and see after we do some glinding. Glinding? I looked at the word Linda while I was trying to say gluing. That's right, gang. It is fall. It's so fall around here. I'm going to use black to do my inking around the edges. We could use really any other colors, but I'm going for black. It's on the top of my stack for one. Yeah, I like this paper. It's a nice, like, it's not too creepy. It's not gory. And it's not too cute. I mean, not that I don't go for cute sometimes or whatever. I certainly do. I'm just edging everything that we've cut out. So the original card base will be inking, and then these other pieces that we've cut off to glue or tape down on them. And apparently I'm also inking like the edge of my finger. That's never come. There we go. Just the edge. Inking edges. This is a simple Halloween card in that, I mean, it's not entirely simple because there's a few extra folds, but it's simple in that there's no embossing or stamping or anything really extra. It's basically done with, I'm going to say 2 sheets of paper. You don't need 2 entire sheets of paper, but we may or may not be able to find enough sentiments on this one to use just 1 sheet of paper. It's definitely a paper craft. It's not, I mean, not that stamping is also a paper craft, but What I mean is we're just keeping it simple, using just a few products. All right, so let's glue all of these pieces on. My words are a little bit upside down, but that's okay. I really like how that scroll looks upside down, and it goes really nicely where this other scroll goes, so I like that a lot. Okay, so let's get, I'm going to use double-sided tape I got from the dollar store on here. Let's get a bunch of it. And the Teflon stickers, which you don't, or stickers, scissors. It's an S word with an extra S at the end. You don't need Teflon scissors, but if you have them, they're super handy. And this tape I've been getting at the Dollar Tree is very strong. Inking the edges really does make it look finished, I agree. I'm trying not to move these around so that I know exactly where they're supposed to go. And I'm going to get some little tiny points going on so that we can get some tape down into those corners. I'm going to use a little bit less tape than I normally do because this tape is good and sturdy, as I have just mentioned. But I might still use more tape than other people do. I don't know. Sometimes I see people on YouTube or, you know, make other video forms, and they're using like so little tape or so little glue that I can hardly imagine that the thing is going to stick together. But I assume that things do stick together. So I've got a few little scraps hanging out I'll stick on there as well. Don't know if you guys can hear my chair squeaking, but it is squeaking like crazy. It's doing its part to be heard. Tape, 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 where are you? That's right, I'm not done taping, and I'm still using less tape than usual. It's kind of ridiculous. So the thing to think about with these gatefold cards, or Cascade cards, or however you want to call it, is that you need something to hold it closed. So when I show you my prototype, after we get this one a little bit more put together, I'll show you the error I made in my closer part. I mean, not that it's, you know, a devastating error or anything. Card can still be used as a card. Yeah, I've sometimes seen people take a tape runner and just go ch-ch, then throw it down after they put like 2 little pieces of tape on it. And I mean, maybe that is some amazing tape. I believe there is amazing tape out there, and certainly lots that I've never been exposed to, but I'm always worried about it. Worried that the card is just going to fall apart. Hee. Love this paper. I love when you can let the paper do the talking. So I've gone ahead and pulled the tape off the outside piece first. Now that I think about it, I think I would have preferred to do the corner piece first. I'll do that way on the, oh, ripping paper. I'll do that the other way on the other side and see which one works best. So I'm leaving the paper facing on that double-sided tape, just to give myself a little bit of ease of placing this. So you're going to want to line it up in the corner. I don't know yet, you can see what I'm doing. I'm lining it up in the corner and at this corner. along the bottom and trying to line everything up and then taking off the other paper. So no, now that I've actually done it this way, I think I'm going to do it the same way on the inside. I think I prefer to do it this way with the outside. All right, I did it right. You can do a fine black marker on the edge of your card. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you could use ochre brown if you're doing something that's more of a vintage or a steampunk or something. We could have definitely, for this, used the purple or the orange or the green even, because there's green on here. Probably would have been the most sort of avant-garde way to go about it, but I went with black, the old black. So I'll put my head in front because now that's apparently a thing that I do. The old head in front on the show. All right. Sticking it down with no safety nets. Yes, that's right. Just flying at it, gluing and sticking things together. That's not glue, but might as well be. All right. Could be lined up a tiny bit better, but so there you go. That's your basic card. We got the bug things going on. We've got a triangle in the middle that becomes a much larger triangle when you open it out. Hooray! So the only other thing you need to do, I mean, certainly you might want to embellish it as well, but the only other thing you're going to want to do is put some kind of enclosure, some kind of piece over the top that's going to hold it closed together. So I think we're probably going to want to cut out something from this side. Maybe the spider, maybe the word creepy, maybe thrills and chills. So I'm going to move the card base to the side and let's pull out the Cuttlebug machine. Doesn't it look neat? Isn't it a great shape? I agree. I think this is a super cool card shape. And of course you don't have to do Halloween. I mean, if you only make Halloween cards, that is your prerogative, and that's fine with me. But you could make this for any kind of holiday or any kind of card, really. So let's use, I'm going to use my circle dies, the Lawn Fawn circle stackables, to cut out some stuff from this purple paper, I think. I think that's what I'll do. There's also, oh yeah, I wanna maybe reserve this bottom sheet of paper. So let's go ahead, sorry, before I do the cuddlebugging, or the de-cuddlebugging. Anyhow, debugging, I don't know. Nerds! Okay, I'm just cutting that off. I'm just cutting that strip off. We may want to use that later. Hi, Army Mom. Hello. Goodbye to folks who are here and have left. Hello to the people who are watching in the video. I forgot to say hi to you guys. Hi, video watchers. Circle dies are amazing. As I jump around from this topic to this other topic. Okay, so I'm just putting this on my scrap of paper that has what I may or may not use. I'm putting it on here. Let's find a good size. What if I went like this? I could get creepy and that terrible spider. What if I went smaller? Then we gotta cut the spider off. We could have Boo Eek. But I think the spider is scary and weird freaky looking. Oh, I'm sorry it took you so long to get in. Well, I don't know how long, but I'm sorry that it took you a while to get into the Ustream. Ooh, actually, you know what, guys? Maybe I should leave that spider off altogether and get danger, caution, and thrills, chills, and thrills. It's a pretty good circle. With danger, caution, a little flying witch, and chills and thrills. That seems kind of amazing. All right, so let's do that. Now you could tape it down. I think we'll be okay. We'll try it without taping down. And I am going to just try it with a little bit smaller circle. You don't get danger as well, so I think I'm going to go for this big circle. I hope it's not too big. It'll be plenty big, but I think that it might be all right. So let's just do it. I'm cutting this out. Even if we end up doing something different, this is the one we need to do. And this is the exact right place. Yes, I agree. We all agree. Well, 3 of us agree. And the 5th dentist says, I guess that's the 9th dentist. No, the 10th. I don't know. Why is she talking about dentists? I don't know. It's probably some ancient TV thing from the 1900s. Okay. Guys, it's awesome. I love it. Now I feel like maybe we should cut more circles of things to go on the inside. Also, maybe even another circle, although this circle would be too big to go on the outside. Oh, that would be real big. Oh, guys, maybe this one should go inside. This is the part of the card where I lose my mind. It happens once a card, everyone. You guys know. Let's see if there's more things we can cut out before we start thinking about where we're gluing things or taping things or whatever. I definitely want that spider. That's a great spider. Let's see what else we could get. Oh, we could get the little witch. Oh, we could get October 31st. Let's do these guys first and then come back for that spider, maybe. You know what I mean? About this is the part of the card where I lose my mind. Oh, dear. Oh, I want to Oh, that guy moved. I want to reline this up. If my card was a little bit, if my paper was a little bit smaller, I might do some taping. But because I don't want to slide it off the edge, I think I'm just going to just really hope that it stays lined up. It is the perfect shape for that spider. I will come back for that guy. Just might as well take some of these little things first, and when we put the spider through, we can grab thrills and chills or the word eek. I really like the circle dies because you can get some really cool things. Little witch. Maybe we'll put the maybe we'll pop the witch up like a dry decoupage, like a UK decoupage. Yes, let's get this spider. I'm gonna leave room to get that skull if possible, and I'm gonna take this thrills and chills as well. Might as well get as many little things from this kit as we can. And by kit, I mean piece of paper. Good grief. You pronounced your name like Febreze, but without the chemical smell. Nice. Welcome, viewers who have come in while I've been looking down. While I've been trying to figure out what to do. Isn't that always? Isn't that every single time? This is how the crafting goes with me, guys. So, I mean, in fact, this is a sped up version of what it's usually like. If you feel like I'm taking things, you know, real slow, it's you're going at like at least double speed to what I normally do on a day-to-day basis. So if you're watching on video, you can always fast forward through. Sometimes there's a smell involved with the pronunciation of the name, but it's usually not. Doesn't smell like Febreze. Nice. All right, so I am definitely going to put this on the outside. We'll blacken the edge with ink as well. Maybe we'll pop up thrills and chills. That might look, yes, I'm gonna pop up thrills and chills, guys. It's a riot. I craft and Fab says as usual nonsensical stuff. It's sensical. I love it, Fab. Works good for me. What if we go ahead, guys, and let's just ink up the edge of this so it makes it a bit dark and pops up, and then we'll also pop this up. And by inking up the edge of this, I mean let's go ahead and add purple ink as well as the black ink. So I've decided that since I'm using a phone book as a glue pad, so I'm putting things in and gluing inside of the phone book and then flipping the page, and I've got like a whole, you know, hundreds of pages of places for using spare paper without having to like use actual spare paper. I've also decided to use the phone book as a place to do things like inking. Good grief. Sometimes the sentence never seems to end. So here's a sort of purpley looking pad, so I'm going to put that on. It's where I keep all my pads, my blending foam pads and blending tools at the moment. I had to upgrade from a smaller container that I used to have. I'm going to use the Dusty Concord, and I'm just going to ink up the edges a bit, just to make them a little bit darker than what's behind them on the card. Thank you, Sylvia. I really wanted to do something where you don't have to have, I mean, you don't have to have this, by the way. You can ink using a makeup sponge, or you could just actually touch the ink to this. In fact, let's go ahead and touch some ink to this, just for the old fun of it. Let's really ink up that. Really ink it up. Phone books are great because, I mean, for one, it's an old phone book, so there's no need to have it around. And there's so much paper in here, so it doesn't matter. You put glue on here and fold the paper over. You got another one. They're good for stamping in, too. Yes, I agree. But I'm not even using this one for that. I'm just going ahead and filling it with glue and ink. Alright, and then we'll also ink the edge of this with a full-on black, just right on the edge, just like we were doing with everything else, so it all ties in, matches together. I could have come in with a black on the side of this to darken it as well, like to come over, but I think the purple blends a bit better, like goes with it better. And we might as well ink these up too. Might as well ink these up with the black on the edge while we're at it so you don't get that white. Oh, come on, I know you can focus. There you go. So we'll take that white edge off. And apparently get some black up on the edge. Some people don't have a whole set of stamps and stuff, so I was trying to think of something I could do without having to add an extra stamp in, and some of these sentiment papers work so great for that. Because they've got even words if you want words, which is cool. And if you don't have ink, you can, like Fab said, use a marker. Which I mean is technically, well, I was going to say it's technically ink, but it depends on what kind of marker you have. But anyhow, yes, you don't have to use an ink pad. You could use a marker. Alright, so let's stick these down. This one's going to go in the middle. I'm going to flip it straight up and down. Did I flip it straight up? I did. I flipped it straight up and down so I can mark on the back side where I want to put my tape. I know that's the word for it. So I'm going to make a line. Oh, and of course I've just moved it. Make sure it's straight up and down. I'm going to make a line that's to the side of the line of the middle of the card. I'm just making, I made a D in there so that I know which side of the card I want to put my tape on. And I'm going to put foam tape because I want to pop it up a bit. But the problem that I had with my last card, the one that I was working on as like a design for this card for today, was that I used too thick a foam. And I got a weird situation with the closing of the card where it doesn't want to close all the way. So this foam, that's what I'm using today. It's foam tape I got from the dollar store. And this was the foam tape. I used some of these dots to stick up the piece on my other card. So you might be able to see that this is like 4 times thicker than this. It did not work as well. So what I'm trying to say is if you're putting something on the front, make sure it's like not popped way up. If it's supposed to be holding your card shut, you don't want it popped way up. So that is my point. My point, and I do have one. I think that's how they say it. So now because I've sort of measured where I want this, it should stick properly. Oh, and I probably should have stuck down my thrills and chills because that's on the side that doesn't have the foam tape. So now I'm going to have to hold it underneath to stick it down. But oh well. Let's pop this up on the big thick pop dot because it's not having to hold anything in place, so it should be totally fine. Here, I'm only going to use one, just like those people in videos who only use one. We'll see if it sticks forever and ever, but it probably won't. Thrills and chills. It's super fun, guys. I think it's fun anyways. So but that's my tip though. Don't use a big thick pop dot on the back side of your piece that holds it closed. So let's stick these in. I think having this up here would be good because then you'll see it when the card is closed. Although maybe we should put this guy up here because he's awesome. So you can sort of see him while the card is closed. So it's scary. I don't want to cover that guy's body. Don't want double witches. What to do? This is the part where you go insane. No. I think we're just going to put 2 on the inside. I know you want 3 things, but I feel like this body of this guy is one of our things. Could maybe cut that down smaller. That's too small, and then this is the next size. So I think I got them as small as I can without cutting them with the scissors. So we'll go with what we have. We'll just stick both of these things down with tape, which I must have. I know I have tape. It's one of the things I keep in stock around here. Actually, you know what? Stick it on the spot. Maybe I can put that witch down. We'll see. Maybe we can sort of double layer one of these circles. All right, October 31st. Tell us about the ad. You get ads about energy saving. I can't see what ads you get, so I'm sorry that you have to have ads, but I'm happy that I can have a show for you. And if having ads means that I can have a show for you, then I'm happy and sorry, both. All right, I'm putting the witch over here. I'm adding her in. I really want her in there. She's awesome. She should be in the card. I know there's one on the front, but I just really like her. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. And I want to thank everybody who's watching in the video. I hope you all have a wonderful Halloween. I will not have a show on Halloween. That's next Saturday. I'm not having a show. There we go. Just sort of aimed directly upwards. Not having a show next Saturday. It's going to be a busy weekend. So hopefully I'll be back the weekend after that with a non-Halloween card. Oh, you're saying that you only one of you gets an ad because you share a connection. That's interesting. So, anyhow, sorry. Here's my card, guys. Just basically an example of a cascading gatefold card using the Cane Company paper, obviously. I'm going to show you my other card, the one that I was talking about. Of course, now who knows where I put it. Now that I've mentioned it on the screen, it's probably not here anymore. Oh, here we go. The card with the error with the giant thick foam. But this is the other card, the one that took me a week that I was talking about at the beginning here. This one does have a stamp, has 2 stamps actually. This is a stamp, and this is a stamp. Oh, your clocks are going back in the United Kingdom, so we'll have a different time zone problem. Although by the time I come back, not next Saturday, but the Saturday after, we might have changed by then. Anyhow, I'm not sure. Anyhow, I hope this inspires you to make a card, to make something. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your October, and I will be back in November. You can check my Facebook page, Dawn's Craft Riot fan page on Facebook, and I will make an announcement in the morning of the days that I am doing a show. And hopefully you'll be able to stop by and have a watch. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.